Hello, everybody. Hello. I just wanted to get us live a minute early so people can see us. They can, click on the watch this, watch that, emoticons, likes, comments, all the good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. It is now 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. We're already here across the country from California and Nevada over to Florida, all places in between and beyond. So let me just say thank you for showing up for our big reveal, our special premiere of the new HCC intro video. My name is Camille. I'm the founder of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and my co-host today is Lainie Savante-Wilkin. She is the producer of this video. She is also the owner of Intuitive Wisdom Media Productions. She is the co-founder of the Food Healing Oracle deck, and just so she doesn't get bored, she also works with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce with our sponsorship program and our community education panel. So we're not going to let Lainie talk right now, actually, because she is going to take us out of the video. But Lainie, I just want to kick this off by saying thank you so much. We are honored. We are blessed. You knocked the ball out of the ballpark with this, and now on with the show.
Hi, I'm Camille. I'm the founder and CEO of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. When I was working in downtown LA, my mother had some health problems and my grandmother had some health problems, and I started asking my coworkers to help me find an acupuncturist, and they looked at me and said, "Acupuncture? Don't they use needles? And is it covered by our insurance?" I started the Holistic Chamber of Commerce because none of my mainstream friends knew anything about holistic health and wellness. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce started in October 2010. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce is a professional organization representing holistic healing professionals and like-minded business support professionals all over the world. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce focuses on what it means to be holistic, who we are, and what we bring to the world. We're also an international organization, so our members from all of the chapters can connect with each other wherever they are.
I wanted to get to know and uplift the holistic professionals and businesses, not just in my community, but across the nation. And I picked the right organization for that.
I've had an amazing experience being part of the Holistic Chamber, both as a president and as a member. I've met a lot of people. I've really interacted with people enough to build 3 different businesses very successfully.
We have local community-based chapters all across the U.S., coast to coast. We have members in our global online community from Canada, Spain, Belize, Mexico, all over the world.
I'm Derek with Cherry Blossom CBD. We are members of the Maryland chapter as well as the Global Chamber, and we think that's one of the best moves that we've made in the last couple of years.
We have a large platform on social media, especially LinkedIn and Facebook. We're there to connect people to our members.
They were such a great group. I knew I wanted to be part of it right away. They were fantastic. I love the concept. I love the people. Everybody is just so nice and so welcoming. This is really a great group.
Our community-based chapters have monthly meetings, and our global online chapter also has monthly meetings.
We help build each other up. We're a networking group, so we look forward to coming together every month and sharing our highlights, our events, and our challenges as well.
For those professionals and businesses that want even greater exposure, we offer sponsorships and branding campaigns that will allow you to go beyond standard membership to receive more attention.
My name is Heather Phillips. I'm a sponsor with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. If you have a client base that is holistic, or you want to attract holistic clients, the Holistic Chamber of Commerce is where you want to be.
Hi, I'm Jackie Lappin. I am the founder of Speakertunity, the Speaker and Leader Resource Company. This is an organization I love because it's filled with an incredible number of people who are servant leaders. They are here to help others to be change makers.
My experience as a sponsor with HCC can best be summed up by 3 words: innovation, imagination, and inspiration.
We love it. We're a sponsor of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and it's only been a little over a year, and already we've formed partnerships. We've met interesting people and have a whole lot of clients from this organization.
We host community education panels that are live streamed every month. They have an online directory listing, which is very good for search engine optimization, so you get an SEO boost.
Thank you to the founder, Camille Leon, for providing this platform for all of us to help each other grow green.
From where I sit, the future looks bright. The world is waking up. People all over are starting to look for holistic options and solutions, and our members are there to help.
Yay! I think it buffered a little bit at the end, but we did it. Congratulations. Woo! Congratulations to everybody, HCC, to all the presidents, to all the chapters, to all the members, to all the sponsors, and to Camille for creating such wonderful content for me to produce something. You had so much to share, and bravo. How does it feel to release it and have it out there in the world?
Like I just had a baby that was maybe 10 years of labor.
Yeah, instead of 10 months, 9.5, 10 months, 10-year gestation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think the video showed so much about who you are and and I know we're going to talk a little bit right now, but really gave a chance for people to get to know how, wow, it started off with, needing to get clarity and in having the sense to have that forward thinking of like, wow, there's maybe some more areas than a regular diagnosis or whatever, and to really pursue that and realize that other people have those same needs. And here all of us are with those professions. So you gave so many people and continue to a platform from which to shine. So congratulations. I think this video will go far for you and for everybody who's a member and a participant in HEC.
Well, you did a great job, I think, of taking all of the seeds of ideas and really the history and then pulling it together in one cohesive, short video. So thank you. Like, it takes a team. It takes I guess the line is it takes a village, right?
It takes a village. But look how many people were involved and really a collective. You got to see all different types of members and at fairs, at festivals, and meetings, formal meetings, at ribbon cutting ceremonies. It just shows the diversity, not only of what happens at HEC, but of the people. So there was a lot to be shown. So often we say in the media business that you only get these days a very short amount of time to make an impression. And when people say, I'm part of this organization, and you should, and what is it? You get to show them now a video like this is what it is, and then some. So I'm so glad to have you and everybody share this with all. Let's keep growing, right? As I said, let's grow green and let's grow bigger. So did you ever imagine back in the day that it would get to where it is now? I mean, or were you just kind of one step at a time when you first started this?
I think intuitively, I knew that it was going to be bigger than, so like I didn't call it the American Holistic Chamber of Commerce or the US Holistic Chamber of, right? It just the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So intuitively, I think I knew that it was going to get bigger, right? And we already have members in other countries. But I definitely did not know what it was going to take to get to this stage of the game. And there was a lot of little lessons and big lessons that came up along the way.
I bet. Well, I'm sure those have also fueled more inspirations, and you've conveyed that and helped share with others, because I know you do a lot of counseling and consulting, and a lot of people benefited. I didn't even actually know, and I think we didn't touch on it, but what were you doing prior to coming up with this Seed and Spark idea?
So my previous career was job development. Job developer is an executive recruiter that specializes in disadvantaged youth and adults who are looking for work. So ex-cons, women in domestic violence shelters, high school dropouts, and helping them get back on their feet with a job that would help them get back on their feet.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then I left my job thinking I was going to be a coach, and that really, and then I was like, oh, this isn't going as I planned. And that was kind of, when I started seeing the initial chapter that became the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, I started seeing that grow. But by then I was already out of my previous job, and yes, I think that might be the hard way to start a business.
Well, there's no doubt. And I know I've heard you in other interviews talk about and commiserate and understand the pitfalls of kind of moving that over. And some people, do it as sort of a hobby or a side hustle. And then some people go, I'm moving straight from here over to a full-blown business. Do you just want to touch on that? Because there really are different facets of that.
And I think they are both really legitimate. Like on some level, it would have been super nice to have a bread and butter income from which to really figure things out and get it started. However, because I didn't have that bread and butter income, I was really pushed and pulled into figuring it out more quickly, right? Because it was, how do I make sure there's enough money to pay the bills for the business? And, I have, my own bills that I need to pay. So I think that you can go either way. For me, I think part of the joy of this is I've seen so many people use so many different paths to building their success. Mm-hmm. And the support network is actually what makes it easier no matter which path you've decided to take.
True. Were you a one-armed paper hanger? I don't even know if people use that expression anymore. I probably totally dated myself. Or were you? Did you immediately build a team, or did you? How did you expand? How did you? Really start? Because delegation is the key, and most people don't realize that. They keep trying to do everything themselves when you realize the only way to grow is to get some help.
Yeah. So at the very beginning, I had no extra money. So desktop, and I had an 18-year-old cat, so he was like every other cat, which is let me help you by laying across your keyboard. The first person I brought in was a pure volunteer. The key to delegating when you're using volunteers is if it's a real business, you need somebody who's dependable and consistent and trustworthy and going to show up whether or not a side gig comes up for them. So I was really lucky. The very first volunteer who came on board with us is now full-time with us and has been full-time for 5 or 6 years. The first person we hired beyond that was the webmaster, and that was when I learned the very humbling lesson of the thing that took me 8 hours and left me totally stressed out, took our webmaster about 8 minutes.
Wow.
8
Yeah.
minutes.
Been there.
So I was thinking, how can I afford 8 hours at this rate? But I wasn't paying 8 hours at that rate, right? I was paying, even if he charged me for a minimum half hour, it was way more affordable. Nobody was stressed at the end of the day. We had a much better looking website. And but yeah, the team, the delegating, find a way to afford the support you need, or find a system that's user friendly enough for you to at least get started until you start making money to hire somebody who's more professional.
Well, and that's a good point, because some people go in and like, I got to hire staff, and I got to do this and that. And, having an employee and all that responsibility that goes with an actual employee versus a contract labor or a consultant or an independent contractor. There's so many different terminologies these days. There's a big difference, and you get, as lots of different, pros and cons. So it's all part of the growth and all necessary, and everyone finds their way. And luckily, I've seen, being here so long with HEC, that we have people who help do that in HEC, which is great. There's so many people who are business consultants and marketing consultants and media consultants and so many others, that we have such a well-rounded base that people are wanting to grow their business and need that extra understanding.
Well, so I don't know that I knew this at the very, very beginning, but fairly quickly I got from Mind, Body, Spirit to include Business Budget Planet, because as we kept growing, I was like, oh, I need some legal advice. There are contracts, and what form do I incorporate in? And as it turns out, tax issues are related but different from legal issues. And then marketing expertise is not specifically healing, but it did help heal my business, which helps heal my budget, which helps me hire the staff and the contractors that help the whole thing grow. And
as you're saying that, Camille, I'm hearing the beginning, and I'm dancing Mind, Body, Spirit, Business Budget Planet. That music, I keep dancing but I'm hearing you say as you're talking, why people are wondering why you are using those 6 words and how prominent they are, because they are sort of the whole holistic feeling of running a business.
Yeah, and the other thing is, so in terms of health, what's more stressful than my budget's out of whack?
Yeah.
But in terms of my budget, what's gonna put a bigger weight on it than a major health problem? And frankly, my budget is also what allows me to pay my massage therapist, get an acupuncture treatment, purchase essential oils, go shopping for organic foods, clean foods. So they're related. We may think they're not, but they're related.
No question. Well, actually, it's the perfect segue, because you're talking about health and things being out of whack. So now we're going to bring this forward, and let's talk a little bit about 2020 and where we are, and how HCC made the great pivot, in which ways, and what kind of impact? Because I think, I know I got to see firsthand, but what were your thoughts, just to share? I know everyone has their own.
March 2020 caught us off guard, just like I think a lot of people were caught off guard. Many of our members took a hit because many of our members were, especially at that time, doing in-person services, right? So we had to pivot just like everybody else to how do we do our meetings online? And in our case, part of the purpose of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce is connecting mainstream consumers to holistic products and services and solutions, right? And all of a sudden, health was in the forefront, and not just any old healthcare, but we were talking about preventative health care. How do we stay healthy in a way that doesn't necessarily mean we're, adding on a whole lot more prescriptions? And so we took the hit because as our members were hit, it had a ripple effect back into our business, but we took that as a nice opportunity to step back, look at what we were doing that was already working, and just kind of focus a little bit more on how do we strengthen that. And then closer to the end of the year, we looked at some of the other elements of what we're doing and said, all right, what do we need to do now to come out of this in a better position than we went into it? And wow, miracle of miracles, right? Somehow we're in a better position now than we were at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I think, just from my perspective, the awareness that people got that you had an online presence and you had a global online, I think that was so timely. I mean, not that people maybe not have known it, but you've had that before, prior to COVID, but how it really helped. I don't know if this is the volume, I'm just hearing a little bit of a reverb, but that I think is significant. And as a result, now, as we showed in the video, we're in Mexico and Europe and Canada and across the US and growing. So I think the fact that, this world can come together, and we came together, and now the connections have even expanded further. So I think that is a phenomenal win if you had to look at, positive impact.
Yeah, I think that one of the big benefits is now, like, our members in community-based chapters have a stronger connection to each other in that, right, we really got clear on our local connections matter. So those locally based, community-based chapters really matter in terms of a personal support system. And at the same time, we can now work with clients, customers, patients all over the world. And that means that also that online presence is equally important so that we can, stay connected at home, but also connect beyond.
Perfect. Well, a couple more questions. For those who are here tonight and for those who are going to replay this video and just, learn a little bit more about you and, for getting introspective on their own businesses, is there any tips you want to share or any best practices or maybe even a challenge you might want to share that, sticks out as like, danger, Will Robinson beware, something that you can impart for people, just because you've been through it all. You've been through the trenches, you've seen the highs and lows, you've grown, you've expanded, you've really kind of run the gamut, and you're, and it's still, the story's not fully written yet. It's still continuing.
Yeah. Wow.
I gave you an open question. You can go wherever you want with that.
I love that. So I think two top tips. One is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You might set yourself a nice, big, juicy goal and try to reach it overnight. But when I look at some of my role models, Dr. Chopra, Dr. Wheel, Miss Winfrey, I mean, there are so many role models who have set the tone for you keep getting bigger and better. You go further and all that momentum adds up. So you do get to go faster, but it's not like, ooh, you know, I reached this goal, now I'm done. It's I reached this goal and I'm going to take a break, I'm going to celebrate, and then I'm going to go beyond. So, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And then the other thing is really not kidding, find your support network. Now, of course, I'm going to say, here's your support network. This is the best one around. But you just got to find your support network, because there are going to be days when you go, how do I do this? Or, well, that's not really what I was expecting. I threw all that spaghetti at the wall and it didn't stick. I thought for sure it was going to stick. So there is a lot of fine tuning. I have taken to using terms like hiccups. It's not a problem, it's a hiccup, right? Because I do like using my words to shift the way I look at things, right? And a hiccup it's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotta, you know, maybe drink some water or scare myself to get rid of those hiccups, but they're gonna go away, right? So I think those are really my top tips. And yeah, there have definitely been some days and even weeks when I've gone, what was I thinking? Why did I do this? But
the train is on the track.
Yes, right. The train is on the track. There's no need to stop it because it keeps going forward. And which this video, right, shows so well. And now it's really more like I have an idea. Yeah, here's the good news. I have an idea and I have a team of people that I can pass it off to. But for those people who are just starting out, like I had to figure it out. How do I afford to get the consistent, dependable help that is needed to do this thing? Oh, and here's a tip. Sometimes that thing that you think is going to cost you a bunch of money, when you go out and you get a couple of quotes, you find the perfect person at the perfect price, and it works just right. Like magic.
Like magic. Well, I'm so grateful, Camille, for the opportunity to bring your voice and your vision out there like this. This is these are like archival pieces, and you're right. This is almost like a mini documentary, and I think there's more story to tell, and hopefully we'll get to do other storytelling pieces because there's a lot to say, and we could have gone on and on, but we got what we got in there as much as we can, and there's a lot. And I think for people to really see how vast this opportunity is to be a member, definitely to be a sponsor. We had so many great people share their thoughts on that. And, we're in place to help everyone. That's, I think, what's so nice is that you built a team where we're all dedicated to helping everybody thrive in a collaborative way and without competition, but in a total heartwarming way where we could all work together and be successful. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. What a great interview, and that is such a great closing point that I just want to thank all of you who are here for the live, and also all of you who are watching the recording. We really invite you to check us out and get involved and be a part of our cause and our community, and I guess we could say our movement.
I think you can. Thank you for this opportunity to host here for you.